Let's welcome to the show Super Bowl champion, Mr. Pick Six, linebacker for the Seahawks, Uchenna Nwosu. Absolute pleasure to have you, bro. Congratulations. You just told me off camera that it still hasn't quite hit you. Is it starting to a little bit?
Yep. It's starting to hit me a little bit now when I wake up. The feeling, just being a champion is crazy, so I'm just trying to take it all in, soak it all in, and enjoy the moment.
Where did the nickname the Darkside come from? How did that originate?
Honestly, I don't know. I've been asked that question a couple times this year. I think it's something that our DC AD, Aiden Dirty, he's something he brought over. I think that's the first person I heard say it. So shout out to him if he's the originator.
Uchenna, your pick six off Drake Maye in the Super Bowl was one of the biggest defensive sequences of the game. What was going through your mind throughout that entire play?
The first thing on my mind was, man, just go score. Don't get caught. I looked to my left. I saw a lineman. I knew I could beat him. I saw no skill players. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Just don't trip, don't fall, don't run out of bounds. Just go score.
Because there were no skill guys, you know there was no speed chasing you.
No speed. No speed.
And when you say don't trip, are you actively, like, as your legs are getting picked up, thinking to yourself, don't trip, don't trip? Or, like, how does that manifest itself in your brain?
Nah, I'm not really thinking. I'm an athlete. I played every position.
Okay.
Football, so I was just making a joke out of that. But I'm just thinking, man, just go score, get in the end zone, and let's just win this game.
When did you realize that, I just scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl? Like, how did that hit you?
After I scored, and I'm celebrating with my teammates, and I walk over to Mike. He's standing there, and he looks at me and just says, "You just scored an effing touchdown in the Super Bowl." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I really did."
Wow.
This was crazy, man. Just to see my teammates, celebrating with me in that moment was very special.
Guys always say the game is so long and that it's not like a normal game. Did that affect you at all on a personal level in terms of the longer halftime, the grandiose of it?
No, not at all. I actually liked the halftime. That was, the extra time we had. We got to take our shoes off, take our pads off, really just relax. If you need something to get worked on, you have actual time, like get an IV or, get something worked on by the trainer. So it was nice, be able to get off your feet, especially, how hard that first half was. It really was a defensive battle. So I really appreciated it and didn't find nothing wrong with it at all.
You've been around several coaches in your career. What makes Mike Macdonald different?
Just with Mike, he's very unique. You know what you're going to get with that guy. He's the same person every single day, which you really appreciate as a player. You know what you're going to get from your head coach, knowing he's not going to switch up. That's very important to any guy's career. So I appreciate that about Mike. He loves football. He's a defensive guy. I play defense, so that's also good for me. And just knowing who he is, knowing how he calls the game, knowing how aggressive he is, and what he likes to do.
At what point in the game did you guys realize we are better than them?
Honestly, we knew we was better than them before we even got to San Francisco, honestly. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, the way we studied film and just watched and prepared and how we saw those guys operate, we knew, like, we couldn't be stopped. They knew that they couldn't mess with us, especially defensively. We knew we were the best in the world, best in the league. And so our whole week, our mindset was, go out there and show it. These guys can't hang with us, and we were able to prove that on Sunday night.
Did you personally have any nerves before the game?
Oh, absolutely. It's the Super Bowl, man. To be honest, the championship game with the Rams, I had more nerves than the Super Bowl, honestly, because that was just so tight, and it was just like back and forth, and it was like heavy hitters. But then it was the Super Bowl, so I still had nerves, but then after that first hit, I was good to go.
So this is Seattle's second Lombardi. At what point in the season, Uchenna, did you realize that this was the makings of a team that could potentially win a Super Bowl? Was it in preseason?
I think it just goes back to the whole season, man. Just the work that we put in, even to last season, what we were able to accomplish. I know it was Mike's first year. It was Mike's first year coaching. Guys were going up and down with injury, like myself. But we had this thing brewing since last year, man. We had the makeup, we had the guys. We just had to put it all together. In our second year in the defensive scheme, guys getting comfortable, guys doing what they're doing, allow them to play faster, man. We knew we had a special unit, and we definitely carried that into this season, and it showed all year.
We had Nick Emmanwori on a few weeks ago, and I think he's one of the best young defensive players I've ever seen. I just everything about him. For you personally, what have you seen from him that makes him so special?
Man, he's just who he is. He's just a real like football junkie, man. He loves football. His athleticism is off the charts. He doesn't let things waver or get to him. He acts like he's been there before, which is awkward to see from a rookie. Especially a guy who just turned like 22 years old a few days ago. He's act like he's been there before. He knows what to expect. He's a true like vet as a young guy, and that's very rare to see. And I'm happy for Nick and all his accomplishments.
Another guy that had a monster game was Spoon. It felt to me like he was as locked in as ever. How would you describe Spoon as a football player?
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. He's a true football player. Like every time we have a break, he's in our team locker room watching film, talking about coverage, talking about routes and everything. Spoon is just a football guy, man. He's a very low key guy. Don't spend no money. He don't do nothing. Don't dress fancy.
It's all ball.
All ball, man. He's all ball, which you really appreciate from a guy like that. And all his hard work is shown this year, being the top, cornerback in the league this year, Pro Bowler, All Pro. He deserves it all.
How about you, Uchenna? What has being in Seattle allowed you or enabled you to become as a football player and as a person?
It's allowed me to find who my true self is. My road in Seattle hasn't been easy. I'm sure a lot of people know. I got there in 2022, had the best year, career highs across the board and everything. Sacks, hits, hurries, everything. And then come back the next year, I think like week 5 or 6, I end up tearing my pec. Season-ending injury. I come back the next year, and I have a knee injury again, quad tear, meniscus. I'm going up and down through injury. And to come back this year and have a Super Bowl champion and, try to get back to the player I was, it just shows me that I'm a tough, resilient person. I always work hard. I'm going to keep fighting no matter what. And, I've been through the worst of it. I can handle the toughest battles. So I'm proud of who I found out that I am as a man and as a football player.
What did being out allow you to see maybe about football that perhaps playing might not have given you? Like, did it change the way you look at the game at all?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely watching from the sidelines, that drive, that hunger that I had, not being out there just like fueled me more to be able to get back. Like it made me work on my rehab a lot more. It made me train harder than what I normally would. Being out, you can't really do much, but like attacking the rehab every day, studying football, like just not being able to play and, be around. I'm around, but not like participate, just got that fire, ignite that fire in me. Like I got to get back. Like I got to play again, which I really like appreciate. If I were to change it, I would, not be injured, but I'm happy it happened the way it did. I'm grateful for it.
Do you feel like you identify with the Pacific Northwest now? I know you haven't been there, a few years, but does it feel like home to you in a way that maybe you could not have anticipated?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know what to anticipate coming to Seattle. I know the history with the Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson and Marshawn, all those guys they had. But I came in when the team was, I think they had made the playoffs in 2020, but missed the playoffs. So I didn't know what to expect. And now I'm here. I'm able to contribute to a Super Bowl winning team. Like this feels like home to me. Like this feels like where I was supposed to be. I'm grateful for the Chargers, of course. They gave me the opportunity. They drafted me, allowed me to play at home. But the best thing for you is the next chapter in your life. And I'm grateful for Seattle and John and Pete bringing me in. So I'm just happy to be here.
So you and Sam Darnold were teammates at USC. What did you see from him then through now in terms of his progression as both a person and a quarterback?
It's kind of crazy to say, but nothing, man. Sam's been the same dude since we were 17, 18 years old. Calm, level-headed, cool, collected, poised. Like that's just always been him. Like everybody's saying, like, oh Sam, like you seem so like he's been the same person like all those years ago, and it's great to see his journey. Like everybody's journey is not doesn't go how it is, especially him being I think a number 3 overall pick or something. They expect all his expectations were through the roof. And, he able to bounce back later in his career and, win a Super Bowl and do all these great things, man. Sam deserves it, man. He's been the same guy, and, he deserves it more than anybody.
What was your first impression of him when you met him when you were 18?
I was just like, we got a quarterback. He was cool. He didn't really talk much.
Didn't? Okay. He had a little bit of like a surfer vibe, right? Coming from
Huntington. Surfer vibe, kid from Orange County coming in, like he was cool. We were just young, it was like just going with the flow.
Let's fast forward 10, 15 years down the road. if I'm talking about you as a football player, your legacy, and just all of that, what do you want people to say?
I want everybody to say, like, this guy's the definition of never giving up, honestly, like never quitting. Like the things I've been through, a lot of guys would have just threw in the towel. I want people to look at me like, this guy is resilient, this guy is tough. This is the definition to be like what it is to like go through adversity, and come out on top. Like I want people to know that, dreams can always be achieved. No matter what your situation is, what your standpoint is, you can always, fight through and come out on top.
What would be the best piece of advice you could give your teenage self?
I'll probably say just keep enjoying the moments more. Don't always look to what's next. Just live in the present, live in the moment, enjoy every step of the way, the good and the bad, because you never know what's going to happen. So just enjoy every moment, embrace it, and let it just drive you.
The parade and the ring are still coming. What have the last 36 hours been like emotionally for you?
It's been great, man. I've been living on cloud nine, man. We've just been enjoying the moment. We got the plane ride home. Everybody's taking pictures with the trophy. Or we playing cards like we normally do. We're shadow boxing on the plane and 30,000 feet in the air. We just doing us, man. We're just enjoying the moment.
Who had the most fun after the game?
Probably the coaches, man.
Coaches
Oh,
got
man.
after it.
Oh, the coaches got after it, man.
That's hilarious.
Man, you give me flashbacks to the party, man. The coaches were having fun.
Even Mike, especially
Even
Mike.
was having fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when you see the coaches let loose like that after a long season, after a Super Bowl championship, that's got to be pretty rewarding for you as players?
Oh, yeah. Because we know that, man, being a coach in the NFL is tough, man, because they get like hours and hours. And like when we're gone at like 5, they're there till like midnight studying and breaking down film and no sleep. And like, they got families and kids that they can barely even see, because they're just putting into us and as players and giving back to us to make sure we're in the best situation to win. So when you do something like this and you see those coaches, happy and, and getting hype, it's awesome to see, man, because we know the effort that they put in for us to be great.
Love that. Last question is, what's next for you in terms of the offseason? How do you go about enjoying this and then getting back to work? How much time do you give yourself personally? There's just a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, this is my first offseason I've had, or my
This
first
late.
season I've gone.
Yeah.
This late. So, we got to bounce back. I'm going to definitely take some time off, do a little bit of traveling, hang out with my family. But, like last offseason, I didn't even get to train. I didn't get no offseason training, didn't get to do anything, prepare my body how I wanted to. So I'll make sure I'm on point with that this year, get started early, and looking forward to getting back in OTAs.
Where would be the place you want to go that you haven't gone yet from a traveling perspective?
I want to hit Japan, man. I've been
Japan
hearing a lot of
is
good things
sick.
about Japan.
Yes.
Oh, you been?
Yes, the best.
You got to give me some recommendations.
I will.
though.
The best.
All right, good.
Okay,
good,
so
good.
Japan is number one for you.
Japan. I want to go to Dubai. My family's been there like 3-4 times, but I always miss the family trips because, I'm playing football. But Dubai, definitely Abu Dhabi is what I want to check out.
All right, last question, I promise. Who's the funniest dude on the Seahawks from this season?
Oh, Derek Hall, no doubt.
Derek Hall.
Derek Hall is hilarious, man. When you guys around him, man, he's funny.
What would be something he would do that would make you laugh?
You got to be around him, man. He's hilarious. The thing he says, how he acts every day, it's just funny.
Uchenna, thank you so much for joining us right here on the Schultz Report. Congratulations on your Super Bowl victory over the Patriots. Enjoy the parade, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.